Mood.tv.
Won't you come with me and we'll see adventures to be had. Take my hand, I'll tell you stories. I won't shut up. Run away and pretend everything has been prepared. We're all just waiting to be found. We're all take my hand, I'll tell you stories. I won't shut up.
Welcome, everybody, to Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, episode 4, correct?
4, yeah.
4. Did we
Quattro!
go with the title I was saying before?
High Life?
High Life. Welcome
Yep,
to
yep,
episode
yep.
4, High Life. You know, we said last week that we'd probably start naming the episodes afterwards.
Yeah.
I like setting an expectation and failing miserably.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah.
I think last week we did a very good job of that. Now,
Yeah. I mean, it kind of derailed a little bit.
a little bit. But you know what? That's what happens when you
You never know with a guest, dude.
when you get a guest
You
in.
could fuck everything up.
He-
I'm not
he-
saying that they fucked anything
Hey,
up.
Lucas fucked everything up, and he knows it. He was too talkative for a show named Somebody Else
but
Won't Shut Up.
Yeah, dude, you're right.
He knows.
Hey.
No, Lucas was great. It was awesome having him on, and it was a fun episode to record. I don't know necessarily if it was a wonderfully fun episode to listen to, but I enjoyed listening back on it. There's a little scratchiness on the microphone, and we were just fucking around with some different stuff. So Deal With was just finished recording about 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
And it was written and recorded mostly by Mr. Zachary Storman, who is sitting in with us tonight.
Thank you.
And Justin, who's on the microphone as well. You've already heard him speak.
Correct.
And
You did something.
I sang some stuff.
Yeah, you might have.
You know, and that's what I wanted to start off with. Now, we do this every week for the most part, unless somebody submits a theme song, which we definitely recommend submitting a theme song. And you get to have your music played and us talk about you and how wonderful you are.
Yep.
And
if you have artwork to put up with it, otherwise
yeah.
we can come up with something for.
Or if you're an artist and you want to submit art, visual art
that goes along
that
with
can
the
go
breaks.
along with some music, you know, we can definitely throw that in there. So definitely hit us up on
or outro with it, however you want to.
We'll work with you. We'll figure it out. But you know, just hit us up. We're on Instagram, km.won'tshutup, or Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. I wrote for this week's theme song. What we do is generally Zach will come up with something, and we'll just kind of like hash out an idea, and then we will he'll record each part.
You just hashed out the greatest idea.
Yeah. Zach's busy hashing out things a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of hashing out of things.
Hey.
Yeah, you know, it's the high life. But we record, and you know, you add in percussion and other elements, and I generally do vocals or some vocals.
A lot of fun. It will.
It's nice to be like, okay, we got 2 hours until we go live, and we're gonna write a song.
Whatever comes out, comes out.
And
if it's a bad take, fuck it.
And I think it's a good reason for you guys to tune in every week. You know, it's a fun thing to check out.
Yeah.
We also highly recommend that you check us out live on YouTube every Tuesday at 9:00. East Coast Standard Time.
Yep.
Because we're in America, and the most important part of America, I believe, is the East Coast. That's just because it was the first part, and I like to offend everybody else in the country if I can possibly do that in one sentence.
Okay.
So,
East Coast. I rep the East Coast, yeah. I'll rep the East Coast.
All right, we're repping hard.
We're from here.
We're from here.
It's true.
There's not much more we can do but be from here. Now, so I wrote lyrics, and originally the idea was we were writing like an Lumineers style song, and I wanted to write real like deep and meaningful sounding lyrics.
Okay.
So I wrote a couple verses of deep and meaningful sounding lyrics, and then the lyrics that didn't make it. Real quick, I'll just go over the lyrics that I had. Is "Won't you come with me and we'll see adventures to be had. Run away and pretend everything has been pre-planned." The line that doesn't make it in, it does. "We're all just waiting to be found. We're all pretending. Take my hand, I'll tell you stories. I won't shut up. I won't shut up." And then the what I was originally thinking as part of the outro, but then Zach kind of mastered together a really cool take, and we didn't need to make it real stupid. Right. But I had these really. I wanted
forgot about this part. Yeah, you told me about it, and I was so involved.
You were so ready to go, and once you were like, "We're good, we got it all," I was like, "All right, we're good, we got it all. We don't need. We only have like 28 minutes left till we go live, so let's just finish it." So these are the lyrics that didn't make it, and you heard the beginning of the song. And you heard it already if you're listening from the beginning and not just skipping ahead. Yeah, if you're skipping ahead to like minute, 15 or whatever, minute 7, whatever it is, just
it starts at 9, usually 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, okay, so we're at like minute 7. Yeah. If you're doing that, you're just crazy. I don't know what you're doing. But the final verse or the outro was going to be, "I won't shut up. Dicks and balls and farts and shit. Anything to make you laugh. Suck an egg and lose the shoes. If you get the reference, then you pass. It's from 10th Kingdom." Which is a
you
real.
Were explaining. I've never seen it.
Yeah, that I know. 10th Kingdom is a nice deep cut. Late 90s. I think probably ABC or CBS. One of those did a mini series. Maybe even TBS in like the early days of them doing a lot of mini series. It had Ed O'Neill from Modern Family and Married with Children. Yep. He plays I think it's the Ogre King, and he's just got crazy makeup on. He's got 3 idiot, bumbling kids, and they're obsessed with shoes. They love the shoes, and they're trying to get everybody shoes, and they want to wear them, and they're magic slippers.
Right.
And the whole story is like people in New York get sucked into the fairy tale world through a glass mirror, and New York, or our world, is the 10th kingdom.
Okay.
And the other 9 kingdoms are all the fairy tales that we've been told from the Brothers Grimm, who actually were from our world and somehow transferred into their world and got the stories. So it's interesting. It's like a 4 or 5 hour long epic that used to be our Snow Day movie.
Okay, so like you'd watch an episode of Snow Day, or just watch it all day?
All day on a snow day, or a Saturday, or a Sunday afternoon, or a late Wednesday. Really, any time that we could.
Okay.
It was one of those wonderful 2 VHS, boxes. Yeah. Like you have, if you look at like our shelf, there was a whole shelf that was just all 2 VHSs. Okay. And you had that. I think it was the Merlin, Sam Neill Merlin with Martin Short and Helena Bonham Carter.
I actually love that movie.
It's great.
Such a good movie.
But it was originally a miniseries, so we had the 2-part. Another miniseries called Texas that starred, oh my God, I think Benjamin Bratt was in it. It was really, weird movie. We had that, and then, you get like your classics, like Titanic is a tour. That's what I'm going to call them, a tour. A 2 VHSer. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so 10th Kingdom, we would watch this all the time. And the line "suck an egg" is just we weren't allowed to swear growing up, Very, very strict Christian household for the most part. And we would swear, we just weren't really allowed to do it. So
just not around the parents.
Not around the parents.
You guys, you're just like.
Well, I would get really angry sometimes and like call someone an asshole or a bitch, and it would just be this all like whole room stopping type of thing, and then you get an actual bar of soap in your mouth type of deal.
Right.
A good old fashioned educating on how to not be a total dickhead, but. Me and Keith would watch movies, and we would take up like slang for movies, and Craig would as well. But I think Keith and I both, my brother Keith, we clung to this miniseries. I know Claire really liked it as well. Okay. But the phrase "suck an egg" is what the ogres say to each other whenever they're really pissed off. Like, shuck an egg. Shuck an egg. So suck an egg just became a thing. So I originally wrote that into the opening lyrics of this episode.
Now, if you were writing that show, what would you change that line to? You couldn't curse.
Suck an egg?
Yeah.
Oh, if I had to do something else other than suck an egg?
Yeah.
That
other kids would then be going out.
And saying something like lick a toad.
All right.
Lick a toad, probably. Because that also implies psychedelic things as well.
True.
That's what it implies. So yeah, this episode, like we said before, it's called High Life.
Yeah.
And in the past, we've had some discussions. Zach has made his point very clearly that he enjoys drinking Natty Light and Natty Daddy. Me and you and I, we both agree on that. So
cheap beer is good beer.
You're right.
I agree with that.
Wrong with it,
There's really nothing wrong with cheap beer. But if you're going to go with cheap beer, but you want to class it up a little bit, you get the champagne of beers.
That's true. Yeah.
In a can.
I actually have a beer.
There's a beer.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
For $20.66, I got a 30-pack.
Okay.
Of Miller High Life cans. Oh, yeah.
This week's show is not sponsored by Miller High Life.
It is definitely not sponsored by Miller High Life and is definitely not sponsored by Natty Light or Natty Daddy.
But it could be.
It could be.
Call us.
Very easily. Again, the URL is open. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. So if you're listening to this, subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please and thank you. Both of them. Please just subscribe. And once we get to 100 subscribers, which seems like a far way off, we're at 34 right now.
I'm actually way more surprised.
I thought we were going to be at 4.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 of us here.
Yes.
I don't think I've subscribed.
You haven't.
Yeah.
Not that I can see a list of it, but I've been able to log on to your PlayStation over here and see that you have not. I meant to do it for you. I started making people subscribe at the bar. Only got one person to let me do it because, hey, give me your phone is the best way to do that, I think. Hey,
give me your fucking
give me your phone. You got a smartphone?
Yeah.
Is that a flip phone?
Give me it.
Can you text to subscribe from a flip phone? Maybe. I don't believe so.
I don't know, dude.
You got a home computer? Bring me to your house. I will show you how to do it.
Just let me in your house.
Yeah. But yeah, so High Life is the beer we're drinking this evening. And maybe we'll try to switch up beers. Maybe we'll
we can actually do that.
And each week just talk about the beer and talk about the notes of the beer. The notes are really easy to drink and make you pee all the time.
Like the Bee Gees.
Like the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees were really easy to drink, and they made me pee all the time.
You could just hear the beat and just be like,
no.
It was easy.
Show me the toilet.
It wasn't easy to play, but like easy listening.
Oh, yeah.
Without being quote unquote easy listening music.
Yeah.
Sounds of the rain.
Do you want to listen to a whale while you try to fall asleep? No, motherfucker, I don't. As a matter of fact, that sounds terrible.
A whale does. I tell you.
I'm trying to sleep over here, please.
God damn it! I subscribed to the out of water whale noises. This is terrible.
When it fucking explodes.
Why did I log on and look for beached whale noises?
There's kids crying in it.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in weeks, man. This is the best meth I've ever done. But it's whale noises.
But it's whale noises? Okay, yeah.
Right.
I tell Alyssa that she makes cute whale noises in her sleep. Because she'll just be like that. She'll be like,
Is that what a cute whale sounds like?
And I'm just like, it sounds like if you took like whale noises that I'm only taking my knowledge from Star Trek.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's the only whale noises I think I've ever actually heard is in that what is it? Voyage Home?
Yeah, they didn't have any. Do you remember Cocoon?
The humpback whales? Cocoon? I remember Cocoon.
That's where the aliens come down.
Yeah.
They had to have whale noises.
Maybe. But the driving force of the entire Voyage Home, which I think is Star Trek 4, where they go back to 1986 or whatever year the movie was made to make sure they dated it very, very well.
Yeah.
They're trying to save 2 humpback whales because humpback whales are important for some reason and extinct in the future.
All right. Well, I mean, when you're flying around,
I don't know why they're
important.
important. Yeah, I've watched that movie more times than I probably should have without being able to tell you that answer. No. I just really enjoyed the craziness of the people from like the year 2500 or whatever year they're from, being back in 1980 something. It was enjoyable.
There's not they use star dates in the future.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't know what year it is.
Star date. I'm the
35. I'm the worst Trekkie ever. I'm the worst Star Wars and Star Trek fan.
I mean, when you get into knowing the dates, what they actually mean, that's a little bit. A little further down the road.
Well, I enjoy thoroughly. I will wear T-shirts of either. I will have posters of both. I will collect action figures, and I will watch all of the movies. But I don't know, like outside of watching it and character names and just enjoying watching a Star Wars movie, minus the last one a little bit. I mean, I'm going to watch them.
You still haven't watched the show, though.
Which show?
The new show.
Which new show?
Discovery.
Oh, the new Star Trek show. No. See, that's the thing.
Is that what you're talking? Or am I?
I was talking about Star Wars and Star Trek. I was talking about both of them. I am
faded
not
out for a second.
I am not an avid fan of. I love both of them. I've watched both of them. They are the earliest memories. Them and Indiana Jones are the earliest memories I have of any movie watching and entertainment, and thus the early memories of my life are those three film franchises.
Right.
But I couldn't I probably can't name all the characters really, realistically from the original.
There's so many characters.
There's so many characters. I'm just like, oh, Christopher Lloyd's in this one. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. I love it. I just want to watch it. Oh, there's an episode about Iggy Pop's in one episode of Deep Space Nine or something.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
It's either that or Voyager. But it's like I love watching them. We've watched so much of Next Gen together that
it's a great show that you, especially the way that show is set up. Where you can just throw on a couple episodes and you don't necessarily need to have it. There are arcing backstories that come through, but.
All right, we're having critiques right now. I'm sorry, we're having critiques right now. High Life Bad, MGD Good is coming from James O in the chat. Ish. It's good. Ish. I don't agree with that at all. Miller High Life is pretty good. It's very easy to drink, and out of a can, it's still a champagne, as it's telling me right here. But you know what? If you're like James O and you tune in live, you get to hear your name shout out. For the second week in a row.
And thanks for joining, man.
Thank you for joining, James. Wonderful to have you in the room. And anybody and everybody else that's watching. Come in live every single Tuesday, 9 o'clock, and you can join the chat, and we will interact with you as much as we can in between our crazy ramblings.
Yeah.
All right. So
wait.
What?
This is how weird. This is how deep you're not a fan.
Okay.
I went to Google weird Star Trek cameos.
Yeah.
And it auto-corrected to Camaros. But
there are weird Star Trek Camaros?
And I was like, oh, nothing's going to be here. What comes up? The Memory Alpha wiki, which is the Star Trek wiki.
Okay.
Which I know because I have been on.
Okay.
So,
saved.
Do you remember?
Bookmarked.
When Thomas Eugene Paris... who was on the Voyager.
Okay.
He spent time working on a 1969 Camaro in a hollow program called Grease Monkey.
Okay.
He spent time he enjoyed cruising up Highway 1 in Northern California in his Camaro, which was equipped with, quote from the show, pounding. Woofers.
Well, I don't trust the guy immediately
because
he's going up.
Episode called
he's going up Highway 1,
okay,
and not Pacific Coast. He's just making a big mistake right there.
Yeah,
you can simulate it, and you're not going up Pacific Coast Highway.
That is the one.
That's the no. Isn't it the 50? Oh, it's the 55 into the one.
The one that goes all the way up the coast is the PCH.
PCH. Then maybe I'm drunk and misremembering.
I don't know.
I spent many a time on the PCH.
I didn't. I was always a passenger. Maybe I'm thinking of the speed limit sign.
I lived on the PCH.
It was the speed limit 55? No, it was like 75.
There's no speed limit.
It's LA and upwards.
Yeah, there's no speed limit in Malibu. No one. Everyone's rich and going fast.
So they don't even post speed limit signs?
They do. I don't even remember. I remember going past a speed limit sign in Malibu like the ones that radar you.
Okay.
Going triple digits, and it wasn't a triple digit readout, and it just got all crazy.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
That's a good one. Yeah, I drove once in LA. I lived when I was 18 years old. I moved to Los Angeles, lived with my sister, Christine, and her friend from college, John. And I walked everywhere, or I went with them anywhere, and I took the bus, to my job and everything. But one weekend, John's girlfriend at the time, Joyce, was out of town for business and needed her car to have work done. And John's just like, all right, so we're going to drive. You're going to take my, he had the best car to drive on any freeway in Los Angeles, especially.
Right.
But any freeway, he had a 1990 Bronco, white.
Yeah, I know where this is.
But he had giant mud tires on it that shook the entire vehicle. That he bought it with the mud tires on and kept going like, oh, I'm going to take them off. I'm going to take them off. So there was that. But it had like the footprint pedal for the gas.
Yeah.
It had the light up eyes skull.
The
shifter.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, I might be adding this to it, but I'm pretty sure it had a no fear sticker on the back of the window.
Sounds about right.
What year was this?
This is an 04.
It definitely had a no fear
Yeah,
sticker.
most likely.
Yeah.
So
I think every truck and SUV across America in that year had a no fear sticker.
And it was right before the shocker sticker became a thing, and everyone had to add that to the back of their pickup
I
truck.
feel like the shocker thing was a more import guys. Like Subarus.
Yeah.
You saw Subarus.
I see pickups around town all the time with shockers on them. Maybe it's just the one, and he just does circles around Main Street, Stroudsburg.
It's possible.
Well, if he's got a shocker sticker on his truck or SUV, and he's the guy that does circles around Main Street.
Yeah, probably. I would assume so.
Some chicks can like me because my truck is jacked up in the air.
I like Dane Cook. That's cool still, right? That's cool still, right?
You guys want to watch my favorite Dane Cook skit?
He was in Waiting. Interesting. Thank you for bringing me to Burger King for our date. So either way, the only time I drove was we took his Bronco and we drove to his girlfriend's place, and we were going to drive it to the mechanic, which I think we had to go to 101 to 405, and it was probably like a 20-minute trip altogether, but it was like 7 o'clock at night. So sun's going down, everybody's on the road. It's bumper to bumper, 70-mile-an-hour traffic. And we get to his girlfriend's place, which is, kind of off like in the suburbs. And we get to the car, and he's like, all right, so you're going to take my car. And I was like, all right. And he's like, I'm going to take hers because hers is like a brand new like Cadillac or something, like SUV, like a nice vehicle. And he's like, so you'll take mine. I'm like, all right. So I get in there, and I'm like looking at everything. I'm just like, roll down the window. I'm like, hey, John. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't drive stick, man. And he's just like, you fucking me. And I'm just like, nope. Didn't realize that that's what this was. Always wondered what that other pedal over there was all about. And he's like, yeah, it's the clutch. All right. So, fuck. Like, you've got to drive. Like, I haven't driven in like 2 months. I've been living in LA.
Right.
And I've never driven in LA. And again, it's 70 miles an hour, bumper to bumper. And I don't know what was wrong with the vehicle, but there was something wrong with the vehicle that needed to go to the mechanic. So he was not liking the idea. So we get on the freeway, and he's like, just follow right behind me. And I just remember, like, I didn't touch anything. And wonderfully enough, Joyce had good news for everybody who loves bad news in the CD player. So I didn't have to do anything. I was like, this is great. All right, we're good. And I think she needed to get her car detailed after I was done with that drive, because I definitely almost shit myself. If not, I farted a lot, which still detailing might help that.
Now, would you drive stick again if you?
No, I've never driven stick. I've never done it. I've never tried really to do it. I've moved a vehicle that was stick. I moved your vehicle.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's literally the only time. And never had one. Never even thought about it. I was like 25 before someone asked me if I could drive stick, and I was just like, or really before that, like besides that instance when I was 18, before someone else was like, can you drive stick? And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
One time has it come up.
To me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think
my
everybody
first car
should
was
learn.
a stick.
Mine wasn't.
My first toy was a stick.
Well, he grew up in Saw Creek.
Yes, I did. And in Saw Creek, there are wonderful, wonderful woods where you can find plenty. We had a tree, actually, in Saw Creek where it had like a nice hollowed out section of it, and you could walk into it almost. It was a real big fucking tree. And that's where we left all of the good sticks, as we called them.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good stick. Like, this is a stick that I found while we were in the woods, and I hit it against every tree on the way home, and it didn't break. So this one, like, because it made it home from the waterfall, we're retiring it and putting it in the good stick hole. And then, right?
Hey,
it was a good Christian upbringing. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back after this music. Who we playing?
Big Pat.
All right, we got some Big Pat coming to you. If you listened to last week's episode, you heard that song, whatever that song's name is gonna be or is. I'm not sure. So enjoy this from Big Pat. We'll be back in a few.
See ya.
Said she liked the way I do my damn thing, and the friends all do the same thing. I introduced her to the gang. Oochie wally wally, oochie bang bang. She said she liked the way I do my damn thing, and her friends all do the same thing. I introduced her to the gang. Oochie wally wally, oochie bang bang. Oochie wally wally. Do that thing, oochie wally wally. Do that thing, oochie wally wally. Baby, bring it back like a boomerang and start wally wally, doing the damn thing. She on that stage, wally wally. Her and her friends been drinking and they wally wally. Me and my boys doing the same thing. We wally wally, yeah. Plus shorty next to me, feel like ecstasy. It's like sex to me, yeah. I guess that we wally wally. She a devil in that red dress, best dress in the West, yes. And she looking for them checks. Got them cheeks, she look like a freak in the she need to come home with me. She do it how we do it back each. She a freak, got a cheat sheet for taking deep. Pull up in that Jeep, rolling 3 deep, going deep. Got some freaks with some D's just for me. She said she liked the way I do my damn thing, and her friends all do the same thing. I introduced her to the gang. Oochie wally wally, oochie bang bang. She said she liked the way I do my damn thing, and her friends all do the same thing. I introduced her to the gang. Oochie wally wally, oochie bang bang.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. See, week 4, we're getting the breaks down, you know?
Yeah, a little bit better.
We're getting it better.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
I think we were actually on with that last week. That might have been the one thing that we were on.
No, I
with.
definitely fucked up and played the wrong songs.
Well, I mean, you started off bad, but we came back
Yeah, you're right.
We came back in the right way.
Stop trying to justify this.
We finished strong, yeah. If you start shitty and finish strong, you look way better.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No one remembers the shitty beginning.
Oh, no.
The end is good.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think of a movie that's like that, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
All of them.
All of them start shitty. All of them make no sense for the first 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they get better. Or worse. That's the way it goes.
Except for the, what is it, Breakdown?
Wait, what?
That movie?
Breakdown?
I forget who the fuck's in it. But he actually breaks down. That's the name of the movie.
Oh, no.
Like the whole purpose is that they break down.
Oh, weird. I know Falling Down.
No, Falling Down is a great movie.
Falling Down's a phenomenal movie. Speaking of movies, we watched, you and I watched earlier. Zach has not yet seen the trailer for Venom.
Yes.
So Venom, starring Tom Hardy, looks ridiculous. It looks awesome. And I'm gonna actually announce that we're doing it this time, because last time we did this and I didn't say we were watching a trailer as we were talking. So if you're listening, we're gonna watch through the trailer, and If you want to on YouTube, you can find.
If you
want
to follow along at home.
Yeah, if you want to follow along at home.
If you want to follow along at home.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You can just watch the Venom official trailer that came out today, which we're recording this on the 24th.
Right.
Whenever the hell you're listening to this in the near to distant future.
Correct.
Because realistically, you might be listening to this in the year 2525 if YouTube is still alive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Catch that reference.
Yeah. There you go. We're everywhere here.
All right, so they're not going to be able to hear.
You're not going to be able to hear, and you're not going to be able to see. But the Venom trailer, so it stars Tom Hardy, and while I watched the trailer the first time, I definitely thought that Michelle Williams was Kirsten
you were telling me
Dunst.
this before, which would be awesome.
I thought, oh my god, like they're pulling her back in as MJ.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be phenomenal. And I paused it like twice, and I was just like looking at different
angles. Because there's no denying they are in the same universe.
Yeah. I mean, it is. He is Venom. This is what we said. Spider-Man has to show up.
But they can technically use Spider-Man as... but when he has the fucking alien...
Yeah.
Shit.
But they could ominously talk about a guy named Peter.
They could.
Or even more covert, they could just talk about Pee-Pee.
True.
Yeah.
Wait, is Peter Parker not involved?
He's not in this. So it's just a Venom movie.
Because this is a Sony movie.
It's Sony. They still own the rights to certain
but Sony
parts.
did partner with... That's how we got...
Yeah. But I mean, they're doing that. I have a feeling that they're going to.
Marvel
but
has
it's not going to
retained
be
the rights, though. So Marvel now owns Spider-Man, and they can make the new Spider-Man movie they made last year is just Marvel, no Sony.
Do you want to know what this is what I'm thinking? Because they have the Amazing Spider-Man and the Avengers.
Yes.
So I think Disney's going to see how well Venom does, and then if it's okay, they'll give them just regular Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, regular Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And just it's two different. Yeah. Different because it's two different comic series. Everything.
Is this a rated R one?
I think it looks like
it's trying to be like the Deadpool vibe.
No, not in the dark.
I mean, they kind of
way.
They are kind of poking at it because it says anti-hero, like one of the best anti-heroes.
Well, they're going to try to bill it under there just for the sale aspect of it, but I feel like the film itself, no matter how they market it, the film itself is going to be. From what you're going to see on the trailer.
I'm just gonna
start playing. Let's start playing.
Let's look at it.
Let's watch this.
And the trailer before the trailer thing's weird. I agree.
Yeah, this whole thing they do a preview to the preview on the preview. Quick little 5-second trailer of the trailer. We got some dark, ominous vehicles and some primordial ooze looking shit. Sony. In association with Marvel. Very big in association with there. Tom Hardy's accent's weird.
Yeah.
It's like Christian Bale, whenever he does an American accent, it has to be a guy from like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Or it has to be a guy from Boston. It's his character from Newsies and everything he does.
Yeah.
Jack Kelly is Batman.
I don't know. This looks good to me.
Yeah. And then this is cool. They've got Jenny Slate.
Yeah.
Really, she's hilarious. And I've not really seen her in a dramatic role at all.
That's Disney's touch on it.
Yeah.
You need the comedic.
Well, Disney has nothing to do with this, really.
I know.
In association with part. But I feel like this was... What is not Donald Glover.
I thought it was.
We thought it was for a second. He was in Spider-Man, so it might make sense if it is him.
True.
Yeah. This is where you start getting to the point where...
Yeah, dude. I mean...
They're actually going to put Venom in his ears, like in his head, make it a psychological...
I love that aspect where it's just like...
He's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
See, with Topher Grace, it was, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is cool.
I don't know. I can't talk about the Topher Grace thing. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
This but the actual image of the suit, though, like when they show it, it's fucking crazy, dude.
There she is, not Kirsten Dunst. Think you could do that on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
All right.
Easily.
Here.
It's so good, dude. Oh, it does look really good.
Dude. Like that alone. That shot of the full costume or whatever you want to call it. The full like Venom in his full form.
Hopefully it doesn't take long to get to that point. Because honestly, I just want to see some crazy shit.
Well, I think that
who is doing the voice of Venom?
I'm not sure.
It kind of sounds like the dude from Requiem for a Dream and
Keith David.
Yeah,
it kind of does sound like Keith David.
If it was because Keith David did Spawn.
You're right. He did. Yeah. He did.
The animated Spawn.
Wait, is he doing the new Spawn?
He's also the president on Rick.
Well, he wasn't. He was just the voice. He wasn't in the.
No, I know, but is he doing the voice again for the new series?
Oh, I don't know.
I hope he is.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That's honestly what this felt like to me.
It's in that darkness.
Like in that vein there.
For sure. And I don't know. It just looks. It looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. For it to be outside of the Marvel MCU kind of makes it more entertaining to me. The fact that we're not going to be bombarded with everything that
funny, happy, weird fighting robots all the time.
I thoroughly enjoyed what Iron Man did to that world, like to the world of superhero movies, and what Joss Whedon did when he came on board and took control of the whole universe. It's great. Like what he and Favreau before him like started off with like that humor. It's awesome because it was written by the guy who wrote what was it? Swingers?
Yeah.
Swingers is a great
Swingers.
film.
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing movie.
Love that.
Like he wrote it with the same idea, and it's only when you look at it, it's only like 8-9 years after they did that. So it's like pretty recent in their life.
You know who loved the movie
humor.
Swingers, not to cut you off?
Who?
Kyle Schumann.
Oh,
every day at work, he would just come up every time, like, because he was a dishwasher for us. So go and drop something up. He'd just be like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who's at the door?
Who's at the door?" Other fat Kyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
The first day you guys met.
Yeah, the first day I met. Well, actually, what's really funny is the other day I was at work at the bar, and there's a woman drinking, having a couple beers with a friend of hers, and then she gave me her card, and I looked at the last name, and I'm like, "Oh, are you any relation to Charlie?" And it's Charlie's mom.
Oh.
And she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, I know Charlie." She's like, "Oh no," I'm like, "I'm friends with Justin."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Yeah, I've actually been to your house.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, been to your house and stuff like that." So I'm just like, you know, what's funny is the first time I met your son, I walk into Floods, the bar on Main Street in Stroudsburg, and I'm taking like a couple of steps through the door, and all of a sudden this big dude from the back booth, like right before the bathroom, starts going, "Fat Kyle! Fat Kyle!" And I'm looking, and I'm just like, and he's looking right at me, and I'm like, I have no clue who the fuck this guy is. I'm looking at everybody else at the table, and I've never met any of them. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And I just like walk up to the table. I'm like, "Hey, what?" And they're just like, "Fat Kyle."
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you know my name? And they're like, oh shit, you're not Kyle. I'm like, "No, I am Kyle, and I'm fat." So it's very weird that you don't know me. And I walked in here, and you just started shouting a very hurtful thing at me, man. It was terrible. It was like him and Zach, like his buddy Zach, and
not this Zach.
Were you talking about Charlie?
Yeah, it was Charlie. Charlie was the one shouting at me.
So Fat Kyle has a buddy named Zach.
Yeah.
Both of them.
He lives across the street. You know Zach.
Yeah. And there's two of them. No, I was thinking of the other one.
People have no idea.
Oh, you're talking Zach Long.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay, yeah.
Long Zach.
If you don't know us directly or any of our friends, that segment was called "Way Too Personal and Not That Interesting to You."
What?
But it was fun. It was funny because the Fat Kyle thing. It was just—it's my second favorite way I've ever met anybody.
I think you guys met that night as well.
Yeah,
and like the resemblance is pretty uncanny, like facially.
Well, we both had the Jimmy Neutron pompadour thing.
Yeah,
black frame glasses. And
I think you had a shaved face too,
yeah, my face was trimmed down. Like I didn't have the full beard. It was just more of a I work in a restaurant and I have to keep it close shaved.
Yeah.
And he walked
in.
Which
I've thrown out the window years ago, dude.
Well, that happened, and I was just like, yeah, I guess we look alike. I get it. Like, we're right. And then the other day, somebody, have you watched Shameless at all?
Nope.
Parts of it.
All right. Well, there's
not like a full episode.
On Shameless, there's a character, Debbie, and Debbie dates at some point a guy who is in a wheelchair. I don't think he has anything like mentally wrong with him. He's just in a wheelchair, maybe like Asperger's or something along those lines. But I was out for my sister's birthday on Saturday. It was me, Alyssa, and my sister Cassie, who I should clarify is my brother Assie. Because if she listens to this and hears that, she doesn't like me referring to her as a sister.
Okay.
Not that she's like transitioning or anything. I've just called her my little brother for a while now. But we were out, and one of Alyssa's friends starts telling me that I look like Debbie's paralyzed, mentally challenged boyfriend. Okay. And I'm just like, I don't know who this is. And then we look it up, and I was like, oh, God damn, I look just like him. I was like, and there was this guy, his name was Zach Perlman, another Zach, not this Zach. And but he's an actor, a comedian. He was on John Mulaney's TV show that was short-lived.
No, that was me.
That was you? Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. It was this guy. But I was like, oh, God damn, I do look just like him.
Okay.
So now I've got my Halloween costume. I just need a wheelchair, and I'm just going to go around in a wheelchair and be that guy. It's going to be good.
Do it.
That only half of the party gets the reference.
Yeah, maybe. And
or
most of them.
Then you have to explain it to them.
That I'm not just being a lazy asshole.
Oh, you know what you do? You just be like,
but you hate having to explain costumes.
I hate when I have to
explaining?
Explain my costume.
It's because
when my costume is something and I have to tell you what it is.
Is it too convoluted? Is that
that's
the
when
problem?
You just tell. That's when you start telling people.
I feel that that my costume was bad then.
Okay.
But if I go to a costume party and they're like, "What are you?" I'm like, "Well, I failed the mission. The mission was costume party."
Well, I want to like specifically because this past Halloween, I went to Will's, our buddy Will's place, for a little get together, and one of his friends that I don't remember really his name or anything about him other than his crotch, because he showed up just wearing a normal outfit, a pair of jeans, and a potato hanging out of his zipper.
Okay.
What?
All right.
And he was a dictator. But he had to explain it to everybody that walked in. And I was like, that's terrible, because a few years earlier, I generally
called it potato head.
Yeah, potato head would have been good if there. That would have worked. This is the other the way he should have gone with it.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, I mean, I try to make my costumes pretty like obvious. I just like to go all out. The one year I was Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah. I got pressed on nails.
That was a good costume.
It was a great costume. I think I did years ago. I did Santa on Vacation, where I just went in full Santa makeup and like hair all white. But I was wearing a red beanie and a Hawaiian shirt, Birkenstock sandals with like socks underneath it.
I think
you were probably cold.
Oh, it wasn't actually. It was a warmer October. So I was all right, and it was inside, so I was good.
Yeah.
But a couple years ago, I decided that I wanted to go for Halloween as John Wayne Gacy.
That was also I think that was the first year I hung out at Rich's.
Yeah. One of the first times you met me as
child
rapist murderer.
I had known you for a long time at that point. But
it took us 53 minutes on this clock to get to child rapist murderer this week.
Huh?
That's a new record.
New record.
But
yeah, that was the first party I'd gone to Rich's house for.
Yeah, I was. I literally just wore gray slacks, black like non-slip shoes that look like prison issue shoes, a dark or like a light gray button-down short sleeve shirt, a wife beater on underneath it, and then I just slicked my hair back and I had clown makeup on. I was just walking around like staring at people and sucking on a lollipop everywhere I went, just hiding in corners.
I missed this one.
Oh, it was great.
It was a good costume,
amazing. Dude. So it was awesome, and most people were like, "God, that's terrifying. We know exactly who you are, and you look the part. You're a bigger guy. You're just standing in the corner being weird."
Yep.
And I was like, okay, awesome. Like, job well done.
That was that Rich had his...
Yeah. Actually, wait, no, that was at Filstra's where I went just as John Wayne Gacy. Because then Richard's party is a day or two later. And I go, all right, well, I have all this clown makeup.
Yeah.
I have this outfit I wore the other day that now has remnants of clown makeup on it, and it makes it only look creepier now that it has more of it on it. So I was like, I don't know really what to do. So Keith was trying to get a costume, and he decided that he was going to go as an Indian, right? I was like, oh, maybe I'll just go as a cowboy. And then
a Native American.
A Native American, yes.
Get it right,
it said Indian on the thing, though, because this is like 5 years ago before people cared about that stuff.
It had to be longer than that.
No. It was only 5 years ago. Frazetta's is really behind the times.
Okay. All right.
But we were there, and he picks out his outfit, and he's like, I'm going as a Native American. I'm going as a proud Cherokee warrior, he said. And I said, oh, okay, I'll go as a murderous cowboy. But then I was like, ooh, murderous cowboy. And I just went as John Wayne Gacy the other day. So my costume was my John Wayne Gacy costume with a cowboy hat, a holster belt with a gun, and a vest. And I was John Wayne Gacy.
That is amazing.
Yeah, dude,
but everybody that walked in is like, what are you? And then you know what I was getting? And I had never seen it at this point. It's like, oh, Children's Hospital. And I was like, oh, everyone thinks I'm Rob Corddry from Children's Hospital. Like,
oh, that feels worse than them not getting it.
Yeah.
When they think it's the wrong one.
And they were so gung-ho, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
have you ever watched that, though?
No, I still haven't.
No.
I hear it's amazing, and I love Rob Corddry.
It's fucking weird, though.
Yeah. I just I never really I don't know, never really got into it. But people, it was a little more disheartening that they didn't get it, or when they thought it was something else.
Right.
A few years before that, one of my favorite ones, I was trying to just be as comfortable as it possibly could be. I had a pair of black sweatpants. I had a black Adidas like track jacket, and I had just bought this mug at the Salvation Army that said "It's my day off" or something like that, or like "Cool it, it's my day off." Chill, it's my day off. And I also had come into a Darth Vader mask.
Okay.
So what I did was wear the tracks jacket, the black sweatpants, again, my restaurant black server shoes, and then I kept the giant hood from that up all night long with the Darth Vader mask, and I poured all of my drinks in the mug that said it's my day off, and I was Darth Vader on his day off.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a good one too, man.
It worked. It works.
The Chad Vader. You ever watch
Chad Vader? Yeah. But then again, that year, everybody knew who Chad Vader was. I didn't, and they're like, "Oh, Chad Vader," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm doing these costumes, and people think they're everything."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
I don't know, man.
Hey, in case you were wondering about our Halloween costumes, when it's April, here it is.
This is what we're talking about. It's very important. I had a random thought. Yeah, I had a random thought earlier. Somebody posted a 360-degree picture on Facebook where you have to like turn your phone to see it, or turn your physical body.
Correct.
And I realized swivel chairs are the life hack for this.
Yeah, it's
because I was looking at it and I just hit the swivel chair like off the floor and just like pushed and spun around in a circle for a little bit.
Did you get a good shot?
No, I didn't take a shot. I was looking at a picture. And so as I spun, I saw the picture.
But it wasn't a picture of where you were.
No. It was a picture of Mexico or something.
Oh,
well, you have to move the phone to see the whole...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do Facebook.
Yeah,
it's
like those
that sounds interesting.
360-degree video type thing.
Oh,
It'd be great to watch it.
We need that here.
I know we do.
We need VR podcast where it feels like you're in the other seat here.
That would be
crazy.
That would be
Is anybody
wild.
else doing that right now?
I don't know.
We should figure that out.
idea right now.
Delete this so no one fucking hears it.
At 9:49 p.m. on 4/24/2018, we came up with that idea.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And if you steal it from us, we'll find you.
And
we'll tickle you.
And,
dressed as John Wayne Gacy.
As John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go to break, once again, I wanted to talk about something that I heard about that I thought was great.
Okay.
It was great time. So there's this girl, this comedian, Nicole Byers. She's on Netflix's new show, Nailed It, which is a hilarious baking show. Honestly, it came up under the kids section when Madeline was looking for something, and she put it on, and I started watching it. And what it is they get people that are not bakers, and they make them bake replicas of professional bake. And the one they have to do Donald Trump is the cake. Like it's a bust of Donald Trump.
Okay.
And the one
they have to form it.
They have to form it. They have to do everything. They have to color it. They have to do all of this. And they're not professional bakers. So the whole idea of the show is how terrible is this going to be? The one legitimately looked like, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark faces being melted off. Like, like Donald Trump went through chemo for 10 years straight. Like it was
his face.
Yeah, just on his face. Just on his face. It was disturbing. But she's a great comedian. She was on Conan a couple months back, but I just saw the clip a little while ago.
Okay.
And she was talking about this Delta flight she was on. And if you've ever flown in first class, which I have not, on Delta, they and maybe other airlines, they give you a blanket, right? You get a blanket. And most people, you get a blanket no matter where you sit. But this is like a freshly vacuum sealed blanket, so you know that it's clean. Freshly cleaned and vacuum sealed, and you are the first person to touch it since it left, you know, the folding line or whatever the hell. So Nicole Byers takes a picture of hers and posts it online because hers included a fresh human piece of shit.
No.
Vacuum sealed into it. So you can look this up while you're listening. Check it out on Google
Just
Images.
Vacuum sealed shit.
Look Nicole Byers, Byers, Delta shit. I think that would really probably do it. So, and while you're doing that, if you pull up like an article or something, maybe you can correct me on some numbers here. But what they did, she posted this and they offered her, I think, like $500 at first. And then they offered her 50,000 Delta miles and $600 in Delta dollars.
I mean, that's 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, how many trips is that?
I mean, cross country. I mean, if you're getting actual mileage, it's like 20.
It's 20 trips?
20 one-way trips across the country.
I Googled that and I just found a picture of her with the microphone in her hand, with her hand out, and then somebody very crudely photoshopped, like when they just put an image there, and like just a piece of poop. Just like her pointing at it, but it's got like a white background. Like it's just her. Yeah. And a piece of poop. Well, it's not that picture.
What they did,
but it's pretty good still.
What they did is they try to get her to just accept some terms, but all of their terms included that she be silent about the story. So she would have to remove from Instagram. She was never able to talk about it on any platform at all whatsoever. Like could not bring it up. Couldn't write a memoir in 25 years.
Couldn't even tell her.
Like she probably couldn't tell anybody about it. So she, like a smart human being should, said no, and I will just keep the story and this like wonderful thing, and went on national television and told the story. And now Delta is, you know, well, they're still the worst. So I mean, it really didn't get any worse for them.
Sure,
they're still pretty bad. But it just kind of like we kind of discussed this a little bit earlier, like the thought of jeez. Whatever. The cat here just scaled a wall of records and is now behind
all the way up
records.
Yep.
Oh, kitty. Oh, Lucy Fur.
Yeah.
Crazy cat. But yeah, the idea that people, and how many people might have had this happen, where they have a crazy, horrible situation happen to them, or a crazy, disturbing or disgusting, and then they're given money to shut up about it.
Yeah.
So they don't go public.
Yeah. How many people do you think don't take the deal?
Yeah,
a lot of people, like most people, are gonna be like 50,000. Yeah, fuck it. Like I'm done flying for the next 20 years.
I don't fly that often.
Yeah,
this wasn't that
bad. You know
bad.
what I mean? Like, okay, I dealt with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can have it. I won't say a word. But how many people are like, no,
I don't know.
You.
I think it's ridiculous that they thought that a comedian, like they should have looked into who she was.
Do you think they knew who she was? That's why they were like,
I don't think they did at first, and then I think when the post went like viral, they realized, okay, we're dealing with somebody that's a celebrity. She has to deal with Netflix.
Sure.
And she's going to go on.
You think they chose her, though? Or somebody just shit in a bag and she drew the shortest straw?
She lucked out and got that shit back.
It could have been to anyone.
Anybody.
Could have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone,
for all you know, 5 other people saw it and threw it on the next while she wasn't on the plane yet.
I would have had them DNA test that.
Yeah, it's probably the person who was
don't
folding
take a
it.
shit at the crime scene.
Yeah. Hey. It's got to be somebody that worked there.
Well, yeah,
I mean, if it got
shit,
in your vacuum sealed package, it's not like, oh, I was taking a shit.
Well, what would be worse?
Someone's stealing my shit.
Would it be worse that they? I mean, it would be worse.
Do it. If Bobby stole my shit.
He reached into the toilet right after I put it there and ran away to the vacuum sealer. I didn't know what he was up to.
Why is he like a redneck?
What?
I ain't know what he was up to. Bobby just walked in and stole my shit. I don't. What the fuck is this?
Because that's what I've been surrounded by a lot lately. So that's what my go-to voice is.
It's a good voice.
It's a great voice. All right. Speaking of great voices, we're gonna wait. This isn't a me song, is it?
This is a you.
Oh shit! Then I don't want to transition like that. All right. So we'll go with that.
You're a sly bitch.
Hey, before we get into that, I don't know what you have planned for the next thing.
We'll figure it out.
Can we talk about some Netflix shows?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so when we come back from this this break, we're going to talk about some Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Now, tune in now to hear a beautiful voice.
Yeah. All right.
You won't believe the I've seen. Staring at the streets. People walk, but they're not going anywhere. Same for me. Here I'll be, right where you left me. What's to say? I've given up on trying to escape. Can't believe the changes made to this one smokestack town. College is in, but they're not learning anything. Same for me. What a way to be. What's to say? I've given up on trying to escape. What's to do, Lord? What do I ever do? Just waste it all away. Can't believe the changes made to this one smokestack town. College is in, but they're not learning anything. Same for me. What a way to be. What's to say? I've given up on trying to escape. What's to do, Lord? What do I ever do? Just waste it all away. I'm gonna leave this town someday. I'm gonna leave this town someday. I'm gonna leave this town some way. I'm gonna leave this town someday. I'm gonna leave this town someday. I'm gonna leave this town some way.
Oh, that just ends.
Oh, that just ends.
Oh, fuck, man.
That's how that goes.
Yep.
So that song, is a song that I wrote while I was on house arrest.
Yeah, it's a great song, dude.
It's a fun song.
The original lyrics were, "I'm gonna leave this house." So
Yes. I'm gonna leave this house someday.
Someday.
It was at the end of May, too, so that would have worked with the rhyming.
What do you say?
Yeah. Go down to the bay, eat some hay.
Yeah.
I just may.
I knew this girl from round the way.
And I think that's about as much as we can legally do of that song.
No, it's a cover.
That's a cover?
Yeah, you can legally cover it.
You can legally cover? All right,
Yeah,
we're good then.
as long as you change it by 30%.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So, as we said before the break, we were going to talk about something that's coming up on, or something that's off on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
But I also remembered, and it kind of ties in a little bit, as you said.
Yeah,
Justin.
it does.
We had this conversation earlier. We were talking about, well, it started off with me talking about the amount of people that exist in the world and the amount of physical land there is.
Correct.
And how long will it take before there have been so many people that have died that all of the usable land is just full of dead bodies.
Above, you're saying.
Yeah, above.
Yes,
Yeah. And not using certain areas that you can't dig on, mountainous
like
areas.
where people are not living.
People, no, you're not living there. There's not a building there. There's not a business or anything like that. And then it kind of segued into talking about oil.
Correct.
And how oil itself is pretty much made up of dead beings.
Dead beings, yeah, because when people are like, "Where does oil even come from? It's in the ground. Where did it come from?"
Well, there were dinosaurs and other things that lived.
Yeah, things died,
and they've just become the circle of life.
I'm not a scientist, so I couldn't tell you.
I don't really know. Somebody's listening to this right now and is very angry at us. And if you are, email us at km.won'tshutup and tell us why we're wrong. km.won'tshutup@gmail.com. km.won'tshutup or kylemouchawontshutup on pretty much every other platform. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow us on any platform once these are released. Please do that. We very much appreciate it. It'd be great.
Stop trying to sell
Can we
yourself
say
out.
instead of being like, "Hey, you subscribe," you should be like, "Get at me, bitch."
Yeah. All right. Get at us,
Yo,
bitches.
Get at us. Get at me.
Get
Exactly.
Yo, you can get at us at this place.
At this place.
Come on in and get at me.
You can get at me at this
We're gonna get
place.
at you. We'll do it.
All right.
But so we were talking about how oil is basically just dead things. Yeah. So that led me to my immediate thought was: is every vegan in the world that drives a car breaking their vegan?
Yeah, dude, it totally is.
Because,
it totally is. Like,
holy shit!
Right?
You blew my mind.
Right? I'm glad that you didn't hear this conversation before, because they won't wear leather shoes. And I'm not insulting vegans. If you have your belief and you want to do what you want to do, I get it.
What is that saying? People can make mistakes.
right.
Yes, but then there's also a saying that it'll take me a little bit to tie it all together, but there's a saying that ignorance of the law, it does not excuse you from the law, and vegans have set themselves up with these laws.
Yeah,
and ignorance to the law does not. So they've got to atone to whatever, to vegan Jesus, Vegeta.
I just picture.
Is it in a garden? Like, a garden Vegeta?
Is it like a head of lettuce?
It's like a garden gnome, but it's a Vegeta.
Okay. I don't know what that all means.
I don't know why you said garden. Garden Vegeta
gnome.
sounds
I was
great.
saying Garda de Vida.
In a Garda de Vida. This is a cover.
That's all we have to do is say this is the cover in the middle of it.
We're good.
So if you are a vegan and you do not have an electric vehicle, that
still doesn't count.
Well, that's what we got to. Right now, it doesn't count.
It still doesn't count.
Unless you have an electric vehicle that is 100% solar powered.
And has the means to completely recharge itself
as it's moving. That is perpetual charging.
Fucking technology.
There's got to be that. They're developing in Europe somewhere. We were talking about this earlier as well. That there are roads that are going to...
but that's still using fossil fuels.
They're still using fossil fuels, but the idea is that they will run... You will run your vehicle over these roads. These roads will then charge and the charging ability will able to engineer or be able to.
But that doesn't make the car
vehicle
self-sufficient in recharging.
It doesn't. But the idea that if you are trying to be forward thinking and you are trying to use an electric vehicle, your vehicle is still getting plugged into a wall. That wall is still being powered buy a fossil fuel at some point. There's, as far as I know, and again, we're not scientists and we're not experts on this.
I have no idea.
This is really just us bullshitting about this idea based on common basic knowledge.
Yeah.
It's still running off something that is not 100% efficient.
Correct.
So if you
have to charge your car, you're a
diehard vegan and you are not riding a bicycle, you're breaking your edge, as it might be.
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, it's basically, I'm not doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
I just looked this up.
Yeah.
This is for the world.
Okay.
The percentage of the world's primary energy use, that is fossil fuels, is 82%.
82%. Right.
In 2040, they're estimating that it will fall to 78%.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Well, I mean,
it's a good estimation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm all for pushing towards that. Push towards that. Lower that number as much as you can because it is a depletable source. It is something that we will run out of at some point. And there's the sun just giving us power all day long. So you might as well harness that as much as you can.
They just need to make technology better and cheaper for it.
Yeah.
It needs to, that's the only thing.
The understatement of
they
just need to make it better and cheaper.
I'm not
if it was better and cheaper, I'd like it more.
I'm not saying necessarily better, but cheaper. Like, if it was cheaper, more people would do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there has to be regulations as far as, like, the oil industry getting involved and making it harder for them to do so.
Oh, definitely, because that's what our earlier discussion kind of got to was money is going to fall out of the pockets of people that are in the oil business, people that are in really any energy. I mean,
business. It still will take fossil fuels to make these items for the time being until they can figure other shit out.
Because like we were saying, what is it going to be, like a steam powered vehicle that's only off of you burning logs?
It would go back to steam,
and then still you were burning.
Steam was mostly run off coal. Though.
Exactly,
that's coal.
Exactly, and that's fossil fuel.
That's why,
and that's still animals, right?
That's
still like old shit that died that became something. I don't know how coal works.
I don't know how it works.
They said that in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
like,
there has to be a percentage of dead things that's in oil.
Oh yeah,
whether it's 1% of whatever the chemical makeup is.
But that 1% is
still
enough.
Is
enough.
You know.
All right, so we were talking about this, but you had something with
Netflix.
I
was just flipping through Netflix, and they have an original series called Fastest Car.
Okay.
I don't know if it just came out. It must have. It's the most ridiculous concept ever.
Okay.
Basically, they take 3 sleeper cars per episode, and it goes up against some rich dude who has a supercar or something. So, like, the first episode's these 3 sleeper cars. The one dude's actually in a wheelchair, and he creates like a rat rod that's insanely fast, and it goes up against this heavy truck.
And he's driving it.
Goes
in the wheelchair, like it's fully equipped for him. Is he?
He's out of the wheelchair, but he can get into.
He's paraplegic, like lower half.
Yes.
Like paralyzed lower half.
Yep.
Okay.
Then it goes up against this girl whose father used to be a stuntman, or still is a stuntman, but he did mostly driving. So she has like this crazy hooked up. I think it was a 69 Chevy.
I'm just immediately assuming that it's Kurt Russell from Dead Proof Daughter.
It's not. It's not
his daughter?
No. And then the third car was a minivan. It was a Honda Odyssey that this dude builds.
Oh, was it that dude from YouTube? The kid?
Yeah. No, it's not the kid from YouTube, but this dude builds.
It had an H22?
Yeah.
Oh.
But he builds the parts for like enhancements on cars and shit like that. So they go up against the original re-release of the Ford GT, and the guy that ended up owning it was like best friends with the dude from Fast and Furious, Paul Walker.
Okay.
And they had a company where they would buy and sell cars and all this other shit, like it was his hobby. And he's like, I'll put my car up against all this stuff. And the winner of the race goes on to get into the playoffs or the finals for whoever's fastest throughout the season. Or through the season.
So it's American Idol with cars.
Basically. But the second episode was this fucking just rich lady who wanted to buy a Lambo, never drag raced before in her life. So it's just genuine
what
people.
Age? A rich lady? Older, younger?
She had to be in like her 50s.
Okay.
Like she drives a car everywhere. Whatnot, but I don't know. It's just an entertaining
My mind
show.
immediately went to like an 80-year-old rich woman.
I hate those new Lambo owners.
Oh yeah,
the new Lambo.
When your new Lambo.
Yeah. Just
before they get it, you know. Before you've been a few years in.
They're like Kathy Bates in Titanic. New wealth.
But either way, just check out the show. It's if you like cars and shit like that, it's definitely entertaining to watch.
So did anyone beat the Ford?
Oh yeah, the Rat Rod actually won.
Spoilers! Fuck you.
What was in it?
The wheelchair guy.
I don't remember everything that was in it. Yeah, but he was like 1,000 pounds lighter than the actual GT. Like,
oh yeah,
like when he was producing about the same amount of horsepower.
He has no muscles in his legs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot.
I thought about going there.
Oh man,
I didn't think about going there. I just went there.
You did.
That's another John Wayne Gacy joke.
There we are. All right. It only took us an hour and 20 minutes to insult the crippled. Which
that's a new record.
It is.
It hasn't happened yet.
But what? If insulting crippled people has taught me anything, is you can be president.
Oh man.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you so much to everybody for tuning in live. Again, every single Tuesday at 9 o'clock, we are live on YouTube. We thank you so much for listening. And at some point, you might be listening to this on iTunes. We will be releasing these through our friends at moot.tv.
Yep.
I'd like to quick thank you to everybody at moot.tv, which is Eric. And the guys that let me ask you a question, Eric as well, with Greg and Anthony, White Wasabi with Sensei Micah, and then check out a couple friends of our podcast, Sean Summer, their podcast. I believe the other guy's Eric as well. Their podcast, Not Movies, is available on iTunes. And Jason Knows Nothing, my buddy Jason Melendez, I think is still live every Wednesday on Instagram. So check that out. A big thank you to Big Pat for letting us play his music without telling him.
Yes, thank you.
To Zach for contributing all the music and the Rickest Morty, as somebody said.
I never watched that show, but I assume this is a good.
It's a compliment.
It is, yeah.
As a good friend of mine, Ron, said he is the Rickest Morty, and he can only imagine him with an eye patch. So big thanks to Zach.
I'll gouge one.
And everybody that's watching.
You will. And you'll replace it with a gold tooth.
Yeah.
And then big thanks to Justin as well for getting this all put together for me.
Yeah, man.
So also Sean L. Sasser for the music or for the artwork that you also contributed in editing. So thank you everybody for tuning in and enjoy our closing theme music. Have a great rest of your night.
Have a good time.
You're good.
Yeah, do it.
Bye.
Woo!
Moot.tv. Check them out. Or go to the site later.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experimental pieces of shit. We're not over yet. Now we are.